This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create a professional website, blog, portfolio, and online store. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase on new accounts, just head on over to squarespace.com and use offer code Gamebreaker7. This episode is also brought to you by Shutterstock.com. With over 20 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips, Shutterstock helps you take your creative projects to the next level. For 30% off your new account, go over to Shutterstock.com and use offer code Gamebreaker7.
Gamebreaker TV.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to GuildCast number 78 for July 10th, 2013. I am not Gary Gannon. I am Mike Shaftnet, temporary stand-in host. Gary was off doing some Firefall stuff, so while he is out, I'm here once again. Today, we've got a new zone to look at least for the next month. Achievements are now more rewarding, and we're talking about Skyhammer, all that and more. But first, joining me once again, it's like another heartwarming reunion with the Mr. Richie Procopio.
Hello,
is it as sentimental this time? Like, I know it hasn't been that long. Like last time it was like a year.
Yeah, it would be a little bit more sentimental if you wore your yellow dress for me.
Well, you know, there's only certain people who get that special honor, and that's probably only my sister when she's getting married.
Somehow I think I'm okay with not making that list.
And joining us as well, Mr. Mad Visual.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you? Glad to be on another show with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
Ooh, look at that radio voice. Oh, there's Gary just running across the camera. Now I'm totally getting called out because I said he wasn't here, but he's just messing around in the studio. All right, let's just go ahead and jump right into this. The Bazaar of 4 Winds update has kicked off. Kicked off actually yesterday. So let's just kind of dive straight into the new content, starting with the brand new zone, the Labyrinth Cliffs. All right. So first off, this isn't just like a little sliver of an existing zone. It's actually a whole new zone in an explored location. That's pretty damn cool if you think about it, what they're adding to the game. They're not just like adding a small chunk. They're adding an entire new area.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a lot of the different living story updates, right? They'll add like little activities to do and little like instances to explore, and every once in a while we'd get like a dungeon or something. But this is a whole zone, So this is we haven't seen like a whole new zone since South Sun, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool. And the art direction in this zone is amazing. It's very vertical. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah, they really did great.
It looks very small. Like in the beginning, like, oh, okay, this is like a small little piece of land. But then like this whole jumping puzzle craziness just to get to the top, and of course you don't have to do it over and over again because there's a waypoint up there. But it's really cool getting up to the top for the first time. You're like experiencing the zone.
It's kind of interesting to see them, and whenever we think of zones being added, we always kind of look at the scale of how wide they are in terms of how big they are. This is kind of interesting because as you guys are talking about it, it's big, but it's big vertically, and I don't think we see that very often.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it seems to be ArenaNet's thing. Like even the PvP maps have gotten more vertical, and we'll talk about Skyhammer later. That with it's more of a movement-based game, right? And they like their jumping, and they have jump pads in there, and then they have these new abilities. In this new zone, you get movement abilities. One of them allows you to jump extra high. One of them allows you to dash forward at the speed of light. The other one's like a lightning tether, where you can go from one point to another. So with this type of ability that they can give to the players, it only makes sense for them to make the maps, like, make it a playground for those abilities, right? You want to be able to jump all over the place. Can I get up there and all this kind of stuff? So, it's refreshing to see that kind of thing. Because a lot of MMOs, especially early on, we're talking years and years ago, they're designed to not let players get to places like that. If the players, they're not designed for that kind of verticality. So it's definitely fun to see.
I want to see someone in this area of like an airship try and jump out to like these far ones. There's got to be something hidden on these far out airships.
I wonder if that's even possible. That would be pretty cool, though. Flying mounts. Yeah, but people are going to hate me. But yeah, I was looking up, but they're just way too far away. They're way too far away. There's no way. But you can jump around on the actual ship and fall down to your death. Very, very gruesome death. If you don't land in water, your guy just bounces.
You can get those goggles too. You can do the best dive ever achievement all the way at the tippy top. There's goggles, and then you jump off, and you can do flips and all kinds of tricks all the way down. And if you hit the ocean, you get an achievement. It's really, really kind of fun.
Huh. Awesome. All right. Now I know you guys you guys kind of talked about this every other week, but I kind of got to ask. Are you guys bummed that this isn't a permanent edition? This is only going to last about a month.
Well, I'm pretty sure people in chat already know my opinion, so I'm not going to go through that again. But it's a little bummy. I really did enjoy the some of the mini games and stuff like that, but it's kind of like, man, they put all this work into this new area, and it's just going to go away again. But I can actually see why, because the story kind of goes around it. Because they just dock. There are moving like people, so they just came here for just this split second, just for some fun, and now they're going to leave. Which is actually pretty cool. I enjoy it. I just wish that a lot of these weren't just back to back. It's like no permanent content. They're just kind of back to back now, and people who are waiting for permanent content, and we're really not getting it. But overall, the patch is good because of the permanent stuff that they gave, which is the achievement system. Which is actually
Yeah, we could probably dedicate an entire episode to talking around this. And the community, is constantly bringing this up on the forums and stuff. And there's people that are disappointed for various reasons and stuff like that. Like, it seems to hit people the hardest that have, like, very, very busy schedules. And they don't like the fact that, all right, there's so much content coming out, and they're all, almost all of it, like Matt said, is limited time. So it's creating this, like, pressure situation for some players who don't want to miss stuff. At the same time, I think what we're experiencing a couple things. One is they're going to respond to this feedback, and they're going to make more and more permanent content. But it's going to take a while for that to catch up, right? These development teams that are doing the content that we're seeing now, Dragon Bash, Sky Pirates, and the Bazaar, the Four Winds, these were all being developed, in the early part of the year, February, March, that kind of thing, before they actually started getting that kind of feedback. So I think for the latter half of the year, we're going to see a better blend of temporary and permanent content. We just have to be a little bit more patient. The second thing is they're building all this infrastructure in place with these holiday events and with these new zones, so that this time next year, when they bring these things back, they're not going to have to build this whole zone out. When they bring the Bazaar of the Four Winds back, they can work on the content that goes with it, and the zone's already there. Same thing with Halloween. They're going to update that Halloween event. The Winter's Day thing. They're going to update that event, but they don't have to decorate Lion's Arch again. So I really think a lot of what we're seeing is a growing pain thing, that the first year is just going to basically be a lot of this really big zones, or really, taking like resource-intensive map creation, right? And putting that in place, and then players are reacting like, how could you build all that and then take it away? But as we'll see next year, as they bring things back and they'll update it, it's just gonna feel really good that, oh, I remember that from last year. I really want to see that again. And oh, look at all the cool things that they did. And I don't know. I think if we give it more time, this is gonna work itself out.
Do you think that it's something that's going to evolve itself each iteration? Because it kind of sounds like what you're saying is this will come back around. But if it's the same thing, people might be able to compare this to, seasonal events in different games. So do you think that this is something that, when they come back, there will be something a little bit different and a little bit of a different reason? Because Matt, you mentioned, the reason this feels like a living world, because it's the fact that these airships are kind of coming in, making a stop, and then they're going to leave. That's the living element to it. So it wouldn't necessarily feel as living if they keep coming back the same time every year and then just leaving without something new happening, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things, though. I'm pretty sure they'll cycle through them. Like, oh, guess what? 2 years. Remember 2 years ago, the airships came. Now they're coming back and they're being attacked, and now we're gonna have a battle in the air coming to dock and stuff like that. You know, new living story craziness. It could be something like that, and it could totally just change everything. But definitely, I agree with Richie. Like, I'm pretty sure they're listening, because it seems like every patch they're adding in something permanent. They're not just like how it was before. They're like, everything's just going away. Everything comes in and just goes right away. But now, like last time they added in the skills and traits. And now this time they're adding the achievement system. There's always something permanent that they're making stay. You know, just to try to satisfy those people, and plus bring in the living story like they're planning to do. And I could see them coming back. Hopefully not every year, and you know, next year all we have is the same content the whole time. I doubt that it's going to happen, but they could kind of space it out a bit and just have so much stuff to come back to, and you know, redo the content and switch it up a little bit. I can see that happen.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing on this is we're seeing like content from the live teams, right? We know that they've split into 4 different live teams, and they are the ones that are coming up with this episodic living story content. That is not the entire development staff. There are, development team members that are working more on the PvP side of the house, and also more long-term content. But like other MMOs, the longer-term, more permanent content, or maybe the bigger content, right? That's going to take longer to come out. So where is, on another MMO where you would go a few months or even 6 months or something like that without seeing like a huge content, and that's okay. We're seeing content every 2 weeks, and then people are wondering, well, where's the big permanent stuff? Where's the massive changes and stuff like that? Well, you know what? That's going to still take more time. So, I think, I don't know. I'm being patient.
Do you think this approach is a good supplement for the problem of, obviously, there are those big content patches, and what World of Warcraft has chosen to do is every other patch is like small minor patch to keep intermittent content going, and then big raid content, but you're still waiting a couple weeks or a couple months in between each major content, whereas Guild Wars is kind of taking the approach of giving you like new, fun, exciting stuff to do every 2 weeks. Do you think that that's going to keep the person's interest longer and more often because of how much change is going on, even if it's very small amount of content?
I think what they're doing right now is very, very smart in terms of their business model, right? They don't have the sub fee, and I've said this before, they want people to come back every few weeks and see the new stuff and log in the game and put out new gem store items to coincide with these. And from all indications on the dev side, they're doing really well financially from this game, right? So I think a lot of players are taking advantage of the gem store. I think a lot of players are converting to gold from the gem store. I think a lot of people are buying up these items. So I think having a reason to log in every 2 weeks is very smart on their part. I also think it does a lot of good on the PR side, because all these websites and content creators and this show and stuff, we have a lot of stuff to talk about every single week because of this. If they went 6 months or even 4 months without putting out a new patch or something like that, then it would get really hard to talk about this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question though, like it's good. It's good that they're coming out with patches every 2 weeks, because definitely for the casuals and definitely for the people probably who don't have enough time to really tear through the game, they have like something new to play every weekend or every couple of hours during the day or whatever. I think that's good. Definitely though, we're gonna see in the next few months if they decide to add permanent content that's like really for PvE, and from then we can actually say, okay, now they're listening to the people who want that hardcore stuff, but it's too soon to say right now.
Yeah. And the end of this month, I'm not sure if everybody's aware or not, but by the end of this month, Colin is going to have a roadmap kind of blog post / video where he details the second half of 2013's plan. So hopefully we'll get some more juicy information from that.
Now, first of all, the stuff coming in this content, the people, they're called the Zephyrite. Are these Zephyrite new to the Guild Wars universe at all?
Yeah, I think they're brand spanking new.
So what are they bringing to the table? What's so interesting? Like what are they? Do you know any of the history behind them?
I see. We don't know a lot about them. We know that they live in the sky. All right, and they fly around on the Zephyr Sanctum. It's this huge kind of like airship thing, and they're like a Zen-like beings, and they kind of they get their power from the sun, the lightning, and the wind. Right? They have these atoms around that can teach the ways of these things, and they put their powers into crystals and stuff like that. So they're docking right now at the Bazaar because they need to trade with the people who have like terrestrial materials like wood and ore and cloth and stuff like that, because they don't have that flying around in the clouds. But yeah, we don't know much about them, and they are new to the Guild Wars universe.
Could you see like some of the bigger content, some of the larger like dungeons that get implemented of potentially? I mean, it sounds really cool. The idea that these guys are just flying around all the time and they just live in the sky and we don't really know who they are. That leaves a lot of room for ideas to go in the future, and maybe we find them in the sky elsewhere, and we have a dungeon up there or something to run up there. Would you guys be interested to see what's going on out there? Does that interest you at all, or is it just kind of like, oh, it's another race that's flying around? Because to me, it sounds really interesting. The thought of this constant unknown race that's kind of just around. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested about it. I would love to see an airship, a living story take on a airship. You know, you're on the airship and you're like flying or something like that, or you're not flying, or maybe the game is flying for you and you have some battle on there. I would like to see some air combat like that. That would be cool. I'm interested to see, like, you know, maybe some content in the future that you fly airship to where they stay at, and it's like a actual whole town built around, like, you know, the architecture that was in this past update. That would be pretty cool, because it looks like, you know, it looks like the shacks from Guild Wars 1, the cantons. I don't know why. It just looks kind of like...
It does.
Is it? It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely reminds me of that like shantytown kind of environment. Yeah. But yeah, I think the Zephyrite are cool. It's interesting to me as well. I would like to find out more about it. I think it's interesting that they introduced a new faction of bad guy last patch, Sky Pirates, right? They're the Aether Blades, and now we have like the Zephyrite, this, you know, more like this Zen-like peaceful faction, and they're all have to do with the air and stuff like that. So I wonder why we're seeing so many like air themed things. Wonder what's going on there.
Flying mounts.
Matt, you're just gonna get so much hate if you keep that up. I would just I would hold that in. Now, Sanctum Sprint Racing event is something. Have you guys had an opportunity to try that out? And if you have, how is that holding up?
It's Mario Kart from Guild Wars 2.
That sounds awesome.
It does. It's like a very long course too, and I don't know, like, how many people on each map? Probably like 10?
Well, yeah, I've seen up to 12, I think.
Man, and you start off and then you just run. You have like your 3 abilities, the same 3 abilities that you use to get up on top of the new content. You know, the one that makes you jump high, the one that makes you do that lightning jump, and the one that makes you do that ride the lightning like the elementalists do. And you get all these power-ups that can, like, just like in Mario Kart, there's one that does the lightning to everyone and kind of stuns them and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool things, and it's a little depth there. I don't know if people realize when they're actually going through the sprint course, if you collect enough of those little blue electric orbs, you actually get to skip all the way up to the checkpoint. A lot of people just skip those. A lot of people just don't take them up.
It's not how much you collect. It's like Mario Kart in that if you're way behind, right? What the power up, the little barrels, you have a chance to get 0. If you get 0, it allows you to skip to the next checkpoint. So it's a way for you to catch up if you're way behind. You'll never get that if you're like in first or second place. Yeah.
So what you're saying is Matt's always in last place whenever he's trying to do the races.
Definitely. The best place I ever got was like one time out of like the 20 times I did, and it was like second place. This guy he hit me at the last moment. Like, he waited for me and just
Yeah, there's an achievement and a title. There's an achievement and a title for getting first place. I've only gotten second is my best as well, so I feel your pain there. But you know what's funny? I taught my 7-year-old son how to do this. He saw me doing it. He's like, I want to do that. So he's got his own account, and he was playing it, and it was hard for him to kind of get the hang of because you could fall down so many times. But I showed him the course and I taught him, and he was able to kind of get through it on his own. And he calls me over like 20 minutes later, and he's like, Dad, I got the chest at the end. I got something really rare. He's like, I'm like, what? I went over. He got one of the sun catcher. He got the wind catcher back piece from it. So that was really cute. Now he's wearing it. He's all proud of himself. So, and I still have one.
Now, additionally, there's also a scavenger hunt, which kind of takes advantage of the zone's vertical nature, which is awesome. It combines platforming elements and special movement skills. And you guys were kind of talking about these new things, and it just kind of making sense with the verticality of this new zone. So here's the question, though. Did it make you guys want to tear your hair out, or did you enjoy it? Was the frustration of how difficult it is worth it?
Okay, I collected all 43 of these things, right? And I don't know. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it, but I didn't necessarily love it either. You know, it's
but you're going to remember it.
I will remember the 43 pieces I had to go through. My wife was just sitting right next to me watching me do it. I'm like, there's like a couple of them that are really hard. Because you know how Guild Wars sometimes kind of glitches a little bit and you kind of get moved over? I don't know. It may be because I'm just a humongous Norn. That could be the problem. But
gotta roll in a Sura.
And I get rage. I just rage. Because when you fall, you fall. I mean, you fall.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I mean, the ground has just got to be littered with corpses, doesn't it? It's just like all the people who failed. It's just a mountain, a pile of bones.
Oh gosh, so many.
Isn't there more than 43? I think there's. I mean, you only need a certain number for the achievement, but there's actually
40
even more.
You need 40 for the achievement, and 43 is just, I guess, extra.
I thought there was 50.
Matt, there's 50. You haven't found them all. Go bash your head against the keyboard while you try and find the rest of them.
So done. I am not going back to that. There's probably some hard ones. Oh my gosh.
Now the cool part is there is a permanent part coming in this update, and it's a new mini game called Belcher's Bluff. From that name, I just get like the idea of this guy up on like a bluff, and it's like a burping contest. But I don't think that's the case. So what is Belcher's Bluff?
Wrong kind of bluff.
Wrong kind of bluff. Okay.
Yeah, not like bluff like a cliff. Basically what this is it's a mini game where you are drinking omnonberry juice. Okay, and omnonberry juice comes from the undead zone ore, right? And so it's toxic. And if you drink it straight, there's recipes where you can make omnonberry pie and stuff. And if you cook it, apparently, this is from what I've heard from the devs. If you cook omnonberry juice or omnonberries, then it's not toxic. So it's a drinking game where you're drinking it, you're losing health, and eventually you're going to. You have other skills that you can use. You can bluff drinking it, where you don't lose any health. You can drink water instead, where you gain some of your health back, or you can belch at your opponent. And if you belch at your opponent while they're bluffing or drinking water, you kind of hurt them and cancel what they were trying to do. So you have to kind of time when you're going to bluff, when you're going to belch, and when you're going to drink it for real, and try to beat. You can challenge other players, or you can challenge NPCs.
Can we call it belch burp bluff? Wait, belch and burp are the same thing. It's kind of like a rock paper. It sounds like it's a rock paper scissors almost.
Exactly. It's like an advanced game of rock, paper, scissors. But you get, so it's funny, when you beat these special NPC masters around the world, you get their signature skill. All right. So they have different special powers that you can unlock by beating them in the game. And so you can go around collecting all the powers, and then you can try to challenge Poyaki, the Grandmaster, and try to get an achievement for it, stuff like that. It's. What I like about it is that the masters are all found in the personal story instances in all the capital cities. We've been talking for a long time on the show that those areas of the game are underutilized, so it's great to actually have players going there. Other than that, I don't know. I find it a little tedious and a little boring, personally. Some of them are hard to beat, and you're like you have to try over and over again. And just like I don't know, the mechanic of it is kind of I don't know, a little lackluster. You're just hitting like 1, 2, or 3. You know, there's not a ton of stuff going on other than that. You're just standing still. I don't know, Matt. How did you find it?
People who were on the stream, I was streaming this, and I had a tough time finding the guy in the first place. I was like, "Where is this guy?" He's like, "Oh, in the home instance, I finally found the guy, and I'm the first boss battle. I think the one is in the Grove, and I said boss battle, but I go in there and I was like, "Oh, this is the one from the story mission for the Whisperers, right?" There's a mission that you do this.
Yes, that's on the Order of the Whisper side. Yeah.
Order of the Whisper, and I suck at it. I don't even know how I got through that mission, and now I have to do this. I was like, I tried it, and I just couldn't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. It's like I bluff sometimes. I bluffed like 5 times in a row. I'm like, oh wow, I got through that, but you still have to drink to burp and stuff to dash
Right.
him, and it's just a weird game for me. I don't know if that's for me though. I really don't know
If you constantly bluff, if that's all you do, then your belch will never come off of cooldown, so you can never
Right.
call them out on a thing. So you actually have to drink water or drink the Omnumberry juice, you know, some of the time to get that skill to get off the cooldown. So you know, it's kind of like a memory game a little bit. You have to figure, and there's strategy to it, and some of them are different too, because like the Char one, he heals, like he drinks water constantly and heals, and so you have to kind of counteract that at the right times and stuff like that. There's like a gimmick to each one of them.
That's fun. And it just sounds like a great, fun little mini game addition that's coming. That's exciting. All right, before we move on real quick, I want to take a moment and pay those bills that we got to pay because, well, we just got to do it. Real quick, I want to tell you guys about an awesome service. It's the 21st century. If you guys don't have a website, you darn near should. And if you're going to make a website, why not use Squarespace? Squarespace is just an all-in-one platform that is super easy to get started making your own website, your own domain. Actually, they give you a free domain. Great for guilds, great for podcasts, great for entertainment. If you're making videos and putting it up on YouTube, why not increase your brand's reach and create a website and not just post your stuff on YouTube? Use Squarespace if you're going to do it. It's great. You not only get a quick and easy template for your website, but you also get a free domain. And it's really, really simple, guys. Almost no programming required. It's built to be easy for the creatives to use. Programming is such a technical thing, and when you want to focus on your photography or your YouTube videos, or just build a great site for your guild, you don't necessarily have the technical capabilities to program a website. So use Squarespace. It's great. They've got a lot of awesome templates for a lot of different things right here. It's, this one's actually just a little bit off, but I haven't showed this one before. Ishimoto. It's a great, if you're a photographer, what better way to showcase your photos than awesome tiling, and you can scroll through so that people can thumb through. You also have different tabs that you can open. It's so intuitive. It's so easy. It's an amazing service. And guys, if you haven't checked it out, now is the best time to do so because we've got an awesome deal for it going for you guys. If you head on over to Squarespace and use the offer code Gamebreaker7, you're going to get 10% off your new account. You got a guild of 25 people. You could all pool some money together and you'd be spending pennies. Be great. Head on over to squarespace.com. Use Gamebreaker. Use the code Gamebreaker7. And what are you waiting for? Go do it right now. No, that's fine. I'll wait. You doing it? Give you about 5 minutes. Not really. You got about 5 seconds. You better go now. All right. Now that you got your Squarespace, we can move on with the show. On top of all of that, there is usually, there's actually the usual item of collecting and trading going on. So, obviously, we've got the Zephyrite who have come into the fray. Are they selling anything cool? Is there anything cool that you should log in and take the time to go pick up now while they're in town?
Well, I mean, they
nope, nothing. They got nothing.
Yeah, they do have skins, but I mean, I don't know. They don't look. They look all right to me. I don't think there's not much other than getting that all the 16 achievements that you need for the quartz. For me, I don't see much really there to like go and rush and get it now before they leave. Other than those achievements.
There's new helms. There's 3 new helms. They're basically the same helm with different colors, and there are new back pieces like the one my son got. So you can go around and collect these kite fortunes and open them up, and they have a chance to drop scraps or golden scraps, and you can use those. You can basically a couple hundred scraps to pick up one of these new items, or you can do just 1 golden scrap if you happen to get that. You can also buy the kite fortunes on the gem store as well. So yeah, I mean they have a new vendor with some new stuff, but nothing totally overwhelming. The one interesting thing about the vendors though is, like I mentioned earlier, the Zephyrite want your terrestrial materials, right? Your ore, your linen, your wood, all that kind of stuff. So they have vendors that'll trade you large amounts of that stuff in order to get some of these Zephyrite supply boxes, which have new recipes in them, chance for the kite fortunes, and different things like that. But what this did, which was funny, is all of these materials, which are just way oversupplied in the game, they all went up in price.
Yeah, like the leather.
Yeah, like they went up in price a lot. Like I was watching the prices, like in a matter of a day, some of them doubled, even more than doubled. And a lot of the supply, I was reading some threads on Reddit, where like some materials lost like 3 million in supply off the trading post. So this was kind of a smart move on ArenaNet's part to get some of those things that are just way overstocked and have really crappy prices and have some sort of use for it. So yeah.
Now, one of the things that you guys were looking forward to last week was the new resource that's being implemented, which is Quartz. Unlocking all of the achievements in this event opens up a Quartz node in your home instance. So, obviously, Matt, that I believe that scavenger hunt achievement is part of this. So how hard would you say is it to get all of the achievements to get this node in your home instance?
It's not that hard. It took me a few hours, maybe, or 3 hours. What I did is I went through and got all the easy achievements in the town, and then for the last like 6 of them, I went around and got the kites. There's these little kites that you have to go around in jumping puzzles and different areas of the whole map and get them, and I just used a guide and got them, and they were actually pretty fun. It was actually too bad. Actually, like they did it last time with the Sky Pirates Pass, like a scavenger hunt. Well, not like the scavenger hunt for getting the sky crystals, but the last time it was what was it again? Like these little boxes, the cash boxes for Sky Pirate. They do it this time, but for kites that kind of drop around all over Tyria, and they drop in jumping puzzles, which I don't know how they do that, but you can go, and that's equal to 1 achievement. So it was relatively easy to get those achievements. There's one in a couple jump puzzles, one in Worldly World, one in Fractals of a Mist, which I refuse to get. I refuse to go to Fractals of a Mist just to get that one. So it was relatively easy, definitely relatively easy. Yeah, and it's right in your home instance, and you get to farm it once a day.
Yep.
Once a day. I don't know if it works on other characters. I should have tried that. I wanted to try that. I totally forgot about that.
Here's what my really big concern though is I mean, obviously you can get quartz all throughout the node. It's kind of sprinkled with it. But what happens after this month is over and the event goes away? Does the quartz disappear across the world and the only way you can get quartz is then through your home instance? And what happens if you didn't get the achievement so it's not in your home instance? How do you get quartz?
Well, yeah, so there's something with this. Like the quartz is plentiful, right? Right now you can get a lot of quartz from the mining nodes that are in the zone. You can get them from like the kite fortunes, from running around. There's these little baskets all throughout the world that you can open up and get them. So right now there's a large supply of quartz, and it's tradable, and you can sell it on the trading post and stuff like that. And you can also, if you have the achievement done, you can mine it in your home instance like you're talking about. But what happens is you have to take 25 of these quartzes and go to a place of power, and you have to charge these crystals up. So 25 quartz makes 1 charged, powered up quartz, and that you can only do once per day on your account. So after this goes away, I think there's still going to be a lot of supply of the quartz, and you're going to be able to buy it off the trading post or farm it from your personal instance. But it's really the charge quartz that is what's going to slow down people making stuff and be the gate to that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the market reacts to that. People are going to be stocking up on that quartz now, and there's going to be a limited supply of it if the zone goes completely away at the end of the month.
Right now, there's not much to do with the quartz because, all right, the quartz crystals are tradable, right? Anyone can have that. But the charge, once you fuse 25 of them into a charged quartz, it's not tradable at all, and that's what you use for the crafting. Now, what it makes is the celestial set, which is condition damage, precision, toughness, power, vitality. The one that has like the whole list.
The all stat. Yeah.
The all stat one. Right. It's not every well, I think it's actually every single stat. And magic, fine, and critical damage, and healing power. Like, it has a little bit of everything, pretty much. I don't think many people are going to be going for that because that's the only thing you can do with the quartz right now, from what I can see. So maybe later on when they add something like really drastic, the quartz will just skyrocket up. But because you only get 3 from the node, and that's not enough. I mean, so you have to mine it a couple times just to get one charged crystal. So it depends on what they do with it. If it's just celestial, then I don't know how many people are just going to be like, oh, I have to get celestial armor. I'm totally going to pay the high price tag. But it'll probably be good to save up a couple quartz just in case the price goes up and you can sell it. So,
I mean, that stat combo is decent. I mean, I know not everybody likes that, but somebody actually just mentioned this in chat. Runes of Divinity sell really well, and that does, bonus to all stats. And there are definitely some builds that will utilize it. So I think if the quartz becomes a limited supply type item after this patch goes away, there could be a market for it. I think that the recipes that you get are definitely tradable and sellable, but I think that the items that you make from it are account bound or soul bound. So I don't know if you can sell the crafting pieces or not. I don't know. No one's been able to make one yet, as far as I know. But I think that they're going to be bound, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat room.
I think possibly one of the most exciting parts to this update was the inclusion of achievement rewards. So first of all, guys, how much revamp did the UI get? It's got to be a lot better, right?
Tons better. Love it. The big thing, and I will nitpick a little bit, but I love the recently the recently achieved section, right? Because the game, up until this point, you'd get a pop-up in the middle of combat that you got an achievement. If you weren't quick and look at what it was, there's no way to look at your achievement panel and find out what achievement did you just get. So that happened to me several times over the past several months where I'm just like, I don't even know like what that achievement was, and there's no way to tell. So now I can look and see what my last 3 achievements were. I wish that was a longer list. There's my little nitpick. 3 seems a little bit restrictive. There's also a section. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, are the rewards being handed out retroactively?
Yes. Yeah,
and that's got to be big.
It's huge. The rewards for this, and Matt will, I think, agree, is this is a great addition to the game. They are giving you retroactive achievement rewards in the form of gold, laurels, chests with a whole bunch of random items in it, like boosters, and there was a PV1 today as well. But the big thing, there's 2 big things. One is they give you account-wide bonuses to magic finds, gold finds, experience points, and karma gain. So it affects your alts as well. So if you unlock enough of these achievement rewards, you will get like 2% to magic find, a couple percentage to gold find, all this across all your characters. And there's also unique weapon and armor skins that you can unlock at the higher tiers, and you get unlimited copies of them for all your characters, right? So it's not like the other weapons of the game where you have to use transmutation stones to get that look to carry over and stuff. So it's just a great incentive to just play the game however you want to play it. If you like World versus World, you like PvP, whatever, play the game how you want to, and you'll unlock rewards over time. So it's a lot of fun. But the big public service announcement for those people who are not understanding, You're only getting one retroactive chest per day. You're not gonna log in and suddenly have like 17 chests to open up. It's one per day, because I saw it all over the forums today. I didn't get to pick my Zenith weapon because I hit 1,000. No, it was 100 was the first day, 500 was the second day, and as of right now, you can probably log in and get your third chest because we just went through the reset like an hour or so ago. But,
and just in case your points don't go away as well, that it's on lock. It's not like you pay for the chest, or anything like that. And it seems to keep going up. Like before, we only saw like you only go to 2,500, and then I unlock 2 chests. Now you see like another chest up here that it's actually 3,000. So probably the next chest is going to show up again. It's going to be 3,500. It's going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. Again, I didn't know it kept going up. So this is actually pretty cool. Now it makes me want to go and search through all the achievements that I haven't done yet. Oh my gosh! I just wish I gained a lot of achievements back then, because some people are over 9,000 right now.
Over 9,000.
I just had to do it.
The big rewards are obviously the weapons and the armor skins, though. I think that's a lot of what people's intentions are. And I gotta say, these look awesome. The armors, oh my gosh, give me that fire suit right now. That looks sweet. And even the ice set. The ice set looks just, and I don't know if that's really fire or ice, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from them. But here's my concern. Are these just head, shoulders, and gloves right now? Because that's really all I'm seeing on these.
Yes. These the Hellfire set and the Radiant set only have gloves, shoulders, and headpieces. There's no other parts of it. And they're not dyeable either. So you can't change the colors on them. Now, they have some of the best particle effects on armor so far in the game. So that I think that's the trade-off, and I think kind of they're going to add things to the achievement tiers, or at least that's my assumption, that there are going to be more tiers. So it could be,
but at a higher tier, right? You'll have to earn higher achievements to earn more pieces to the gear.
Right. So I mean, maybe they'll add the rest of the sets later. Maybe they'll add new sets. I don't know. We know that ArenaNet has not added a lot of combat armor to the game. It seems to be a point of a slowdown for them, or it's resource intensive, right? And they have such a robust dyeing system with well over 400 dyes, right? And so to make new armor sets for light, medium, and heavy that all respond well to the dye system and don't look like crap, and I mean, it's probably an immense amount of work that I can't even kind of fathom. So I think by limiting some factors, one of them being that those sets are for light, medium, and heavy, right? Another one being that you can't dye them, and another one being it's only shoulders, gloves, and helm. I think those all allow them to actually pump this stuff out quicker. So I think that's some of the concessions we have to deal with.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. But before we do, I want to tell you guys about an awesome deal we have with Shutterstock. Shutterstock.com. Guys, again, if you're a creative out there, 21st century, right now, we are creating a brand new YouTube channel called SMAT. It's Gamebreaker's gameplay channel, and it's going to be really, really funny. Awesome stuff. So if you guys haven't checked it out on YouTube, head on over and subscribe. We would absolutely love it. But when you're creating new channels like this, you need something that kind of makes your logo, your personality stand out. And I've got a lot of editing skills. I'm really good at Photoshop. But one thing that I'm awful at is making stuff from scratch. And that's actually where Shutterstock came in handy for us on YouTube, was these awesome little character icons right here. We got straight from Shutterstock. And the really cool part about what Shutterstock offers is these specific images were vectors. So we were able to increase their size exponentially so that they're super high resolution. I was able to go in and I actually changed this green character. He was originally red. I was able to change him from red without any loss of resolution, all because Shutterstock offers vectors as well as a bunch of other images, clips, lower thirds. It's such an amazing service for any creative out there. If you're trying to do anything on YouTube, I think the one thing that I've been preaching the most about, that I really, really love about Shutterstock, I've built so many lower thirds for shows in my time that I've been out here in Los Angeles, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world. 9 times out of 10, I end up Googling lower thirds and I find a Shutterstock image and try and make something from scratch from just that image. Little did I know, I didn't realize that, I thought they were just images. They're not. Shutterstock actually also gives you full motion lower thirds. All you guys got to do is you just head on over to the footage tab, type in lower third. Ridiculous, I know, right? It's that easy. Hit enter, and boom. You've got a fully customizable pre-alpha channeled lower thirds ready to drop in your projects. You know, you might have to skim around to find the one that fits exactly what you're doing, but I cannot tell you how much this resource can speed up the time it takes for you to get your production out and started. You know, creating graphics like this is not easy, and it's an amazing service that Shutterstock offers to allow you to jump in here and get access to a whole bunch of pre-matted images. You know, another project, I'm actually working on graphics for a feature film that's going to be distributed, and I need blood drip elements. And again, all I got to do, hit blood drip. Boom, there I go. Pre-matted blood drips that I can just take into my project and use the graphic elements for. It's amazing. Shutterstock is an absolute necessity if you are a graphics artist, if you are trying to create your own content, whatever you're doing out there, if it has to do with media, you should know about Shutterstock. And what we want to do for you guys, if you go sign up for a new account right now, we're going to give you 30% off your new account. And all you guys got to use is the offer code Gamebreaker7. It's an amazing service, guys. I can't sing its praises enough. And we're so happy to have them on as a sponsor. Moving on here, there are a few other kind of smaller changes within the patch. Siege blueprints are actually no longer account bound. Now, I know you guys aren't the largest of PvPers, but what do you think this is going to do for World vs. World? Is this going to affect it?
They're not. I need it. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. You mean you could put it on a trading post and actually sell them?
Yeah.
It appears to be the same.
Wow. That's actually pretty good, because for people who need stuff right away, they can just buy it off the trading post and get it. I think this would be pretty good, especially if you get a nice... It will add money to the loot now. So when you go and do the jumping puzzle, if you get like an Alpha Siege Golem, which is a really good golem that they can use to break down castle walls really quickly, people can actually sell those if they need them to do like some big siege war, you know, like in the middle of the night, like I seen them do it on Borealis Pass. You know, you just get a bunch of golems and you just charge in, and now we don't have to wait for people to, you know, be like, oh, I don't want to use mine. You know, now everyone can just buy what they need and just do it. Man, this is actually pretty good. That's actually really good. I'm glad they did that.
I don't feel like I have to like stockpile them in my bank anymore, right? Because now if I need them going forward, I just could buy them off the trading post and then go. So you know, I was miserly and kept every one of them and put them in my bank slots, and like, oh, you know, next to my World vs. World, I got to bring them out, stuff like that.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a good change.
Now,
People have
also,
been asking for that for a long time. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Additionally, though, a Tome of Knowledge has actually been added as a rare drop to Black Lion chests. This item sounds like it's going to get out of hand. Here's what this item is going to do. Using one of these will either increase your level by 1, or it's going to add a skill point if you're at max level. This item screams controversy all over it. What do you guys think about this item? Are you excited?
I think I'm not gonna scream controversy over it. like in any other game, that would be a huge deal, right? You know, World of Warcraft, you know, especially if like that landed in their cash shop or something, like right as an expansion or something. What? I can gain a level? That's crazy talk, right? But I don't know, like they put out this new content, right? And if you go to the new zone, you get bumped up to level 80 anyway, so you can enjoy the content. You know, the progression doesn't really matter in terms of leveling, right? Everyone can kind of do anything anyway. So there's not that kind of gated, you know, there's not rating where the content's gated by how much gear you have or by what level your character is necessarily. So it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem to bother me much.
Are these items going to be tradable? Can I just basically pick up a brand new account, buy my way to 80 the second I get into the game on the trading post?
That'll actually be great.
Matt's smiling ear to ear on that one.
Because I'm trying to level up a few characters recently, and I used to level up quick. I had like 3 level 80s in the first week of launch, right? I was leveling like crazy. Now, like the dynamic events are like so few, and there's not many people in the starting zones and stuff, and it's just so like spread out. So it's a little tough to level up now. You know, if you just want to get to a level 80 real quick to try some PvE stuff, it's a little bit hard. So this, I mean, it's a rare chance, so it's not going to really affect much. But what would the price be actually?
No, I don't.
Well, and
I would assume that this is account bound that you can't. But even if it is, I mean, people are saying it all over chat room. This game, you can take your credit card out, you can buy a whole bunch of gems, you can convert it to gold, and you can deck out your characters in whatever gear you want. But you can also buy all the crafting materials in the world, make a new character, and level all the way from 0 to 80.
So then,
crafting materials.
Why not?
Right?
Why not go to the next level then, and potentially offer this item straight up on the gem store? Do you think that could happen?
Oh, that's a little bad. You can't do that. I don't know.
See, at what point do you cross? Because as Richie said, chat room's talking about the fact that you can already buy your way. So why even make crafting the middleman? Why not just offer straight up level advancement for gems?
I mean, you could trade gems for gold, so it doesn't really. I mean, it's the same thing, really, right?
I think the difference is that sure you can level up just by converting gems to gold and do it by crafting, and sure you now have this rare chance to gain 1 level. But if they just said, hey, buy this item, make it $30 or $40 or whatever, and instantly convert a character to level 80, I don't know. I think they would lose some. It would be publicized very badly. I think people would. I think they would take a hit, publicity wise. I think the player base would feel kind of negative about that overall. And I think that where you think about it logically, it's not much different. I just think it would garner a lot of bad vibes from the community.
Definitely. Definitely. If it's just some rare drop that gives you 1 level, I mean, 1 level is not that bad. I mean, you can play for 1 hour or less and get a level. So, I mean, it's not too crazy. Now, if we give you 10 levels, that's worth something right there, because crafting give you 10 levels. So that would have been something. But, I mean, it's worthless. It's really worthless for 1 level.
Now, the final meter... Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I know it sounds weird to actually have something in the game that can grant you a full level and not be a big deal, but this game doesn't work like a lot of the other MMOs out there. So it truly, if you look on the forums or Reddit right now for Tome of Knowledge, you'll see almost nothing on it right now.
Right.
And it just came out yesterday, so it's like
I didn't even know it existed.
Like, whatever. This item really doesn't affect me at all. All right, so the final major addition to the game is, of course, the new PvP map, Skyhammer. Now, have either of you guys jumped in and checked this map out?
Yes.
Richie, you have.
I have not. Oh, you have.
You didn't?
I'm surprised I did it. I was going for it, and I totally forgot about it. How is it?
You're doing like the PvP guide stuff, right?
I know, but it was been a busy day.
All right. It's only day 2. We'll give you some time.
So, Richie, how is it?
I don't have. I can't look at it through the competitive PvP lens, right? So I don't know how good it is necessarily from an esports point of view, but from just somebody who's playing, it's a ton of fun. It's Asura themed, right? So it's got that kind of Radisson kind of architecture to it. It's elevated up in the air, and there are lots of places where you can knock players off to their death. Any player that dies, whether it's by you killing them or falling off, you score a point for your team. So, like, I was controlling, and the funny thing is the control points are located, some of them located right on the edge, so that you're fighting and you have to constantly be worried about your positioning, because I was able to boot some people off the sides, and it's very satisfying doing that. So yeah, I thought it was really fun, and it's also got a secondary mechanic, kind of like the trebuchet in the Battle of Kylo, where you have a mega cannon, a laser cannon that you charge up, and you just kind of obliterate people with that from afar. So there's the 3-point system once again, but then there's the secondary mechanic of who controls that cannon. So I thought it was a lot of fun. It looks really cool. I know that when I was at PAX East, I talked to Jonathan Sharp and John Peters from ArenaNet while I was there, and they were talking about, they're like, there's a PvP map coming up that everybody internally absolutely loves. Wait till you see it, wait to see it. And it turns out Skyhammer was this one. So they really love it at ArenaNet internally. So I hope the player base really gravitates towards it. And
do you think that it stands up in comparison to the other maps that are out there?
I think it's more fun. But like I said, I know that they're like right now, what is it? The Battle of Kylo and the Forest of Niflheim and I'm blanking on the name of the third one with the Guild Lord in it. Those are the ones that they're usually using for the esports and the competitive side. And there are reasons why the other maps aren't making it into the rotation. So I don't know if Skyhammer will make it into a competitive map scene or not. But that's because I don't have that kind of expertise. Faux Fire, Legacy of the Faux Fire. Thank you, Chapter. That's the third one that they use.
What about the fact, and just real quick, do you think that people are kind of still wanting a new game type overall? Is this enough?
I think we touched on this last time, is that it's not, if they're trying to push esports so much that there's no time to do a new game type to really like stick one in there, so like they need to really build on what they have right now and then get to the point where they get like a good game type that will actually make it to esports, because that's what they're pushing for, and make sure it's right before they launch it out. But I mean, for people who are coming in, if they want to get new people to PvP, I think a new game type might intrigue people to at least go in there and try it out. For the people who play PvE mostly all the time, I think that will get them in just to try it out to see if they like the new game type. Because right now, there's only one game type, so people might go in there, do some hot join, just for fun, and they're like, I don't like it. But new game type will definitely probably get people like, oh, okay, let me try it out real quick.
All right, last up for today. Read into some data mining and found some really cool things that are hopefully coming in the near future. First up, including a flute. Now, what are you guys going to do with a flute? Obviously, I get it. You're going to be playing a flute, so don't give me any smart-ass answers. But what's the flute for?
It's the next class, the minstrel. It's the new class that's coming out. Yeah, confirmed. Here.
Done.
Done. Yeah, and it's gonna be able to do attacks. You're gonna be attack people with musical.
Does
notes.
that mean if we get that? Does that mean if we get a harp, we can expect a bard as well? I mean, that'd be,
that'd be cool. And they can have a skin that's like a guitar, and they can do like a solo, and they can like kill. It would be awesome. It reminds me of Devil May Cry. For people who ever played.
All right.
It was like a guitar thing. It was awesome.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that wonderful smart-ass answer. What's the flute for? Do we know it all?
They have a choir bell already, which makes music, and they have a horn that makes music. So it's probably just going to be another instrument that makes music. Now the horn, which is relatively new, allows you to hold down notes, and actually the response time is a lot better, and you can already see some songs on YouTube that are playing a lot better than the bell. So I know people are they want sharp notes and flat notes, and then the creative musical folks are going to go nuts with these things. So I think they're just going to slowly add over time new instruments for people to play.
Are they going to add? When I click it and play it, is it going to play Bad Recorder Celine Dion music? Because if not, what are you doing, ArenaNet? There is no reason to have that if it's not going to play My Heart Will Go On terribly. It's the only reason they can put it in. They're also implementing Basket Brawl, which is a new game with kind of a basketball feel? Is that what that is? I mean, basketball. It sounds like it. How do you guys know at all how that's going to play?
I know they have like 2-point shots and 3-point shots, and you're scoring points for your team. You shoot mid jump to enhance your accuracy, and once the time is up, the team with more points wins.
All I see, and I'm stealing his joke from Matt Zamazing. All I know is there's going to be a movie called White Asura Can't Jump. Now it's just fact. It's got to happen if they're going to add in basketball. They're adding in exclusive hairstyles that are coming to the gem store, which isn't really surprising. And finally, it looks like they are actually also adding in bank tab extensions. That's going to go all the way up to 15. So, with that being said, bank extensions, how are you guys doing on bank space? Is that something that you guys need?
My bank is completely full. I am not joking. I'm not over-exaggerating. It's completely full, and I just don't want to pay. I don't want to pay for more bank space.
You got to pay money for more space.
You never paid for more bank space?
Yeah, I bought 2 of them, and I was like, that's enough. And I put like all my ascended armor, and then eventually just kind of, it's like a virus. Just all this crap from the holidays just kind of spread out and just invaded every section of my bank.
Send it to a level 1 alt and keep it in their bags.
It's too much work.
Back and forth. You gotta, I mean, come on, bank alts, Matt. Bank alts.
What are you talking about?
That goes back to early day MMOs.
Yeah.
Hey, you can sell all your blueprints now because you can just buy them on demand now. Yeah, I'm nowhere near needing 15 bank tabs.
Nowhere near? No. So you're not necessarily going to purchase these when they get there.
No, I might purchase my 3rd one at some point.
You're running that bank alt game perfectly then.
Sure, absolutely.
Richie Procopio, you can follow him right down there at Richie Procopio. Check him over on Zam Official, where he does Nexus Talk and a whole bunch of other things right here on Gamebreaker. As well as Matt Visual, you can follow him right down there at Matt Visual.
Matt Visual. YouTube.
I guess it's Matt _Visual. My bad. That's right. We had this conversation last time. Someone stole your name on Twitter.
Yes, they did.
And you guys can follow me right here at Mike Schaffnitz. GuildCast goes live every Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday, 6 p.m. PDT. Thank you guys so much for watching. Gary Gannon will be back in the chair next week. Check out Gamebreaker TV. Follow us also on the Twitter at Gamebreaker TV. And thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.
See you.